Namaskar, this is Nirja, and you are listening to Travel World Online. News highlights of the day. Etihad Airways introduces impossible deals. FICCI's Outbound Tourism Summit highlights prowess of Indian MICE and cruise segments. Himachal's tourism sector demands relief from state government. Karnataka records a gloomy monsoon tourism this year. Turkish airports swarmed with travelers as summer spree in full swing. TUTC expands portfolio with new destinations. Now, news in details. Etihad Airways is on a mission to bring impossible deals to its guests to coincide the release of the feature film Mission: Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. In celebration of its partnership with Mission: Impossible Dead Reckoning, Etihad has released sale fares which it has dubbed Impossible Deals. These offers to select destinations on the Etihad network will self-destruct on 31st July 2023 for travel between 15th September and 15th November 2023. Arik D, Chief Revenue Officer, Etihad Airways, said, "We are excited to partner with Mission: Impossible, and we are marking the occasion with incredible deals for our valued guests. We know the demand for travel is sky high this summer. But with Etihad's impossible deals, we hope to make your travel missions possible." Guests traveling on Etihad will be able to experience a dedicated Mission: Impossible channel on eBox, its in-flight entertainment service. The channel will feature all 6 of the Mission Impossible series as well as exciting behind-the-scenes content. Everyone flying on Etihad's wide-body fleet will benefit from complimentary chat messaging throughout their entire flight by signing in with Etihad guest membership or simply enrolling online before flying to benefit immediately. The free chat feature includes access to popular messaging apps like WhatsApp, Botim, Messenger, and WeChat to name a few. Etihad passengers flying from India to the United States can also benefit from the US Customs and Border Protection (CBP) facility in Abu Dhabi International Airport, the only US immigration preclearance service in the region that allows passengers to clear US immigration while they are still in Abu Dhabi, meaning travelers can get home quicker and easier. While addressing the second FICCI Outbound Tourism Summit that recently took place in New Delhi, Ankush Nijhawan, Chairman, FICCI Outbound Tourism Committee, and co-founder, TBO.com and MD, Nijhawan Group said that with the expansion in the Indian business, India is set to become the highest MICE, meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition, tourism seller in the world by 2026. India also has the potential to become the cruise hub, and the number of outbound tourists from India is growing each year. Ina H. Krishnamurthy, Ambassador of Indonesia in New Delhi while speaking at the event commented that over the last few years, India and Indonesia have emerged among a few nations with robust economic growth. A stronger India relations in coming future will be beneficial not only for both the countries, but also to the region and the world, she added. FICCI Nangiya Anderson Knowledge Paper Unlock the Potential, a look into outbound tourism, was released during the event. Deepak Deva, Chairman, FICCI Tourism and Culture Committee, and MD, Sita, TCI and Distant Frontier, and Poonam Kaura, Partner Government and Public Sector Advisory Nangiya Anderson LLP also shared their perspective on outbound tourism. Tourism has taken a hit after heavy rain and natural disasters in various parts of the state. The stakeholders associated with the tourism industry believe the impact of natural disasters on tourism might last for a long time. They have demanded that the state government should announce a financial package for the hotel and tourism industry like waiver on annual renewal of license fee and demand charges for electricity and local taxes so that the industry can tide over the crisis. As per a news published in the Tribune, Ashwani Bamba, Chief Advisor of the Hotel and Restaurant Federation, said the recent torrential rain, flash floods and landslides caused extensive damage to roads and infrastructure in the Kullu Manali region. Fear psychosis among tourists has resulted in a significant decline in travel bookings, severely impacting businesses across the state. Occupancy in hotels had been reduced to almost zero. Bamba said there was uncertainty about the safety and accessibility of tourist destinations in the aftermath of these calamitous events. the visitors were hesitant to come to Himachal. The tourism industry, which is a vital contributor to the state's economy, has come to a grinding halt. The government should extend support to ensure its revival and recovery. We appreciate the efforts being made by the government to evacuate stranded tourists and address their safety concerns. However, we emphasize the need for special measures to create confidence among travelers for propping up the industry, he said. The Hotel and Restaurant Federation has demanded that the state government should initiate a public awareness campaign to highlight the government's efforts in restoring infrastructure and ensuring the safety of tourists. Emphasis should be on the resilience of local communities and their eagerness to welcome visitors. The government should encourage tourism-related businesses to make special offers to attract tourists back to Himachal Pradesh once the situation becomes normal. They have demanded financial package in the form of waiver of bar license fee and minimum bar quota lifting and waiving of house tax and garbage collection fee. As electricity consumption has dipped sharply in hotels, power demand charges should be waived until the tourism revives. The government should provide financial assistance, grants or low-interest loans to struggling tourism businesses to help them overcome the economic challenges, the Federation has demanded. The Federation also demanded that the government invests in improving safety measures and infrastructure at key tourist destinations, focusing on flood-resistant infrastructure and early warning systems. The collective efforts of the government, local businesses, and communities will be crucial in restoring the state as a thriving and secure destination for travelers. For tourists planning vacations during the monsoon to stay at a cozy place and watch the rainfall in Karnataka has been the norm for many years now. However, this year, the monsoon tourism has taken a severe hit as the flash floods in different parts of the country have led to tourists avoiding places where there is more rainfall. An average 60% drop has been observed by tour operators in the bookings made during the season this year. As per a story published in the Hindu newspaper, Kodagu, Chikmagaluru and other regions in the Malenadu belt were usually frequented by tourists during this time of the year. Looking at the situation in Himachal Pradesh and a few other states, quite naturally the tourists have gotten scared. The Mysore, Ooty, Kerala package used to do well during monsoon previously, but this year, there are not many bookings. Kodagu has some demand, but not as much as always, said Saf from Sangeeta Travels near Anand Rao Circle. He said that temple tourism, which has been trending for the last couple of years, continued on a strong note. This time most people are only asking about temples. Our Tirupati package is doing very well, we have more bookings for it, he said. Some tour operators said that they had never had such a bad business during the rainy season. It is so dull this year, by almost 80%, that it is surprising even for us. We do not know if it is because of the month of Ashta, a period during which some people do not travel, or because of rain. Some are scared that they might get stuck at tourist destinations if it rains heavily, said Vishal from Vishal Tours and Travels in Indiranagar. Tourism department officials also acknowledged the drop. Although we have not clearly observed any trend as we do not have any data, it has come to our notice that not many tourists are visiting this year, said Tourism Department Director V. Ram Prasad Manohar. Stressing on the need to promote monsoon tourism, he said, Kerala has been promoting monsoon tourism in a very good way. We are yet to do that, especially with coastal tourist destinations and interior Karnataka region. Turkey's major airports have been packed with foreign holidaymakers bound mainly for Istanbul and the Mediterranean resorts, as the tourism season gains further pace despite the sweltering summer. As per a news article published in the Daily Sabah, the massive influx of tourists and other travelers has made Istanbul airport the busiest civil aviation hub in Europe, while the second airport in the Turkish metropolis and the one serving the southern tourism gem of Antalya have registered the highest daily passenger numbers ever. Istanbul airport saw an average of 1,487 daily flights in the July 10th to 16th week, making it the busiest airport in Europe, with Turkey's flag carrier among the airlines performing the most daily flights, Transport and Infrastructure Minister Abdulkadir Urlolu said Sunday, citing the Pan-European Network Manager Eurocontrol data. Turkish Airlines came in third with 1,616 daily flights on average in the 7-day period, the data showed. This year's tourism momentum has been driven by an influx of holidaymakers from Europe, particularly Germany and the United Kingdom, besides arrivals from Russia, partly due to flight restrictions imposed by Western nations over Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Antalya Airport, serving the Mediterranean resort city, saw 1,018 flights per day on average from 10th July through 16th July, said Urlolu, ranking 7th in the world. Istanbul Airport and Antalya Airport exceeded their pre-COVID-19 performances with 18% and 9% increases, respectively, the minister added. Separate data showed Antalya Airport served 1,116 flights and 210,144 passengers on Saturday, marking an all-time daily high for the province. We are at the top in transportation with our quality service. We welcome the world. We are moving towards the right goal, with the right steps. These achievements, records are pleasing developments on behalf of our country, said Urlolu. Antalya has seen more than 7 million tourists arriving by air as of mid-July. We continue to update records every week, Governor Ersin Yask wrote on Twitter. Yask said 99,149 passengers on international flights landed in the province on Saturday, an all-time high. This year is becoming a year of records for our Antalya, he noted. Meanwhile, Sabiha Gökçen Airport on Istanbul's Asian side on Sunday served 686 flights and 124,478 passengers, marking an all-time high, the airport operator HE's data showed. ISG CEO Berk Albayrak said the intensity demonstrated a very productive season for the tourism sector. We are setting new records almost every week at Sabiha Gökçen Airport, he said in a statement. Signaling a continued momentum within the critical industry that serves as a vital source of income for the economy, more than 14 million foreign visitors arrived in Turkey from January through May, according to Culture and Tourism Ministry data, marking a 23.7% year-over-year surge. Tourism revenue is critical as President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his government focus on reducing the current account deficit to tackle stubborn inflation. Last year's complete rebound from the pandemic fallout saw the number of tourists near a record, generating all-time high revenues and prompting the government to raise its annual estimates. The government sees foreign arrivals reaching 60 million this year, which it estimates will hit 90 million in 2028. For the income, it sees it rising to $56 billion this year and $100 billion 5 years from now. Foreign visitors surged 80.33% to 44.6 million in 2022, just shy of the peak of 45.1 million in 2019. The figure is compared to the 24.71 million arrivals in 2021 and 12.73 million in 2020. Revenues climbed 53.4% to a record high of nearly $46.3 billion as lingering pandemic effects dissipated and Russian arrivals rocketed after Moscow invaded Ukraine on 24 February. Last year's income blew past the previous high of $38.4 billion in 2019 before the pandemic hit. The figure stood at $30.2 billion in 2021 after the outbreak more than halved it to just $14.8 billion in 2020. Tourism contributes about 10% to Turkey's gross domestic product, GDP. In addition, around 1.7 million people worked in accommodation and food services in 2022, about 5% of total employment. Award-winning hospitality brand, TUTC, the ultimate traveling camp, has